You're lucky to have a job, Michael. So stop whining about your pay, Greg barked, his eyes cold as he loomed over my workbench. I stood there, 45, my fists clenched, staring at a payslip slashed by 300 pounds, money my family needed. Greg, my manager, had botched a production run, lost thousands, and cut our wages to hide his mess, all to save his own skin. He thought we'd swallow it, that I'd lose my home, my kids' future. He messed with the wrong crew. I'm Michael Harris, and this is how I rallied my team, exposed his lies, and brought his whole operation crashing down. I'd worked at Midland Steel in Birmingham for 15 years, running machines in their gritty factory. It wasn't glamorous. Sweat, grease, the clang of metal. But it was honest work. I loved the rhythm, clocking in at dawn, bantering with my mates over coffee, keeping the line moving. My crew was tight. We'd cover each other's shifts, share smokes on breaks. At 45, I was proud of my life. My wife, Jenny, and our 3 kids, Ellie, 14, Tom, 12, and little Sophie, were everything. My wages paid our mortgage, kept Ellie in art classes, and got Tom new football boots. I wasn't chasing promotions. I just wanted to provide, maybe save for a caravan holiday one day. Greg showed up last year, a 35-year-old hotshot promoted to plant manager. He was all talk, fancy suits, big promises about efficiency. At first, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He'd slap us on the back, call us the backbone. But soon, we saw through him. He'd push insane quotas, skimp on maintenance, and blame us when machines broke. I heard him on the phone once, sucking up to the directors, bragging he'd turn this place around. I didn't know he'd do it by screwing us over. I remember when Greg seemed all right. He'd ask about my kids, joke about football. I thought he cared. But by last winter, he changed. He'd snap at us for taking breaks, dock pay for minor slip-ups. "Shape up, Michael," he'd say, smirking, like I was some rookie. I let it slide. I had bills to pay, kids to feed. I couldn't afford to rock the boat. My crew felt it too. Karen, our stockroom clerk, said Greg was cooking the books, but we had no proof. We just kept our heads down, hoping he'd ease up. Then it hit us hard. Last March, our pay slips came in. 300 pounds short for me, 200 pounds for others. I checked mine twice, thinking it was a mistake. It wasn't. Greg called a meeting, his face smug. Company's tightening belts. Everyone's taking a cut. Deal with it. My crew grumbled, but he shut us down. Complain, and you're out. I went home, gutted. Jenny saw my face. "Mike, what's wrong?" I slid the pay slip across the table. "They're stealing from us, Jen. 300 pounds gone." Her eyes widened. "That's Sophie's school trip, Tom's boots." I nodded, my throat tight. We were already stretched thin. That night, I couldn't sleep. Ellie's art supplies, our mortgage, it was all slipping away. I thought of Greg's slick grin, his fancy watch. He wasn't taking a cut, he was covering something. I'd heard rumors, a botched production run, thousands in scrap metal, all on his watch. He was pinning it on us, slashing our pay to balance his books. I wasn't going to let him rob my family. I had to fight back, but I needed proof, and I couldn't do it alone. The next day, I pulled Karen aside in the stockroom. She was 50, sharp, knew every corner of the factory. "Greg's hiding something," I said, showing her my payslip. She nodded, eyes narrow. "He's fudging the production reports. I've seen him shredding papers." My pulse raced. "Can we prove it?" She hesitated. "It's risky, Mike. He's got mates in the office." I leaned in. "Karen, they're taking food from our kids." She sighed, then nodded. "I'm in, but we need the others." We recruited Dave, a welder with 20 years, and Lisa, a quiet line worker who'd seen Greg's tantrums up close. Our little crew was ready to strike. We started digging. Karen compared old payslips to new ones, spotting deductions that didn't add up. Dave remembered Greg chewing out a supplier over faulty steel. Steel that was fine until Greg's bad call ruined it. Lisa overheard him in a meeting, muttering about fixing the numbers. But we needed hard evidence. Karen had access to the stockroom's old logbooks, buried in a dusty filing cabinet. Late one night, we snuck in, hearts pounding. Greg's office light was still on, his voice barking on the phone. We froze, expecting him to barge in. He didn't. Karen found the logs, Greg's initials on botched runs, marked as worker error. My hands shook as I photographed every page. But that was just the start. Lisa tipped us off about the factory's cameras. They covered the production floor, where Greg had scrapped the bad steel to hide his mistake. Dave knew a guy in security, slipped him a tenner to forget the login. At midnight, I logged in from home, combing through footage. At 3 a.m., I found it. Greg, alone, tossing steel into a shredder, cursing. He'd destroyed 10,000 pounds worth to cover his tracks. I downloaded the clip, backed it up on 3 drives. My heart raced. We were close, but Greg was paranoid. He'd started random desk checks, sniffing for trouble. The tension spiked. Karen caught Greg's assistant, Paul, snooping in her files. "What are you hiding, Karen?" he sneered. She played dumb, but texted me, "They're onto us." That night, Greg cornered me at my machine, his voice low. "You're asking too many questions, Michael. Keep it up and you're done." His eyes were hard, his threat clear. I forced a nod, my stomach churning. If he found our evidence, we'd lose everything. We had to move faster. Karen suggested recording him. It was risky, illegal if it backfired, but we were desperate. Lisa volunteered, hiding her phone during a team meeting. Greg slipped, ranting, "The directors won't care about a bad batch if I pin it on you lot." We had him, but it almost fell apart. The next day, Dave texted, someone had wiped the camera server. Our video was gone. Panic hit. Had Greg's crew hacked it? I called Karen, voice shaking. "We've still got my backup," she said, "but we need to act now." Greg was planning a big meeting with the directors in 2 days, ready to scapegoat us and secure his bonus. We had one shot. I typed a letter to the board, attaching the log photos, the recording, and Karen's payslip analysis. Karen hand-delivered it to head office, dodging Greg's spies. My hands sweated, waiting for a reply. If they ignored us, we were sunk. The meeting was chaos. Greg stood at the front, all smiles, pitching his cost-saving plan, our pay cuts. His lackeys, Paul and Steve, nodded like puppets. I sat in the back, my crew beside me, our evidence on a USB. The lead director, Margaret, interrupted. "Michael Harris sent us something. Care to explain, Greg?" His face froze. I stood, legs steady. "Greg cut our pay to hide his screw-up. Here's proof." I plugged in the USB. The room went silent as Lisa's recording played, Greg's voice. Clear, blaming us. I showed the logs, the payslips. Margaret's eyes narrowed. Greg stammered, "It's a setup, they're lying." But Paul cracked, blurting, "He told us to shred the reports." The room gasped. Margaret turned to Greg, voice like ice. "You, Paul, Steve, out, now." Greg's jaw dropped. He grabbed his briefcase, muttering threats, and stormed off, his cronies trailing. Margaret faced me. "Michael, you and your team are repaid with interest. We need a new manager. Interested?" My crew cheered, Karen squeezing my arm. I nodded, throat tight. We'd done it. 2 months later, I was plant manager. The back pay cleared our late bills, and Jenny booked Ellie's art camp. We even got that caravan holiday, the kids laughing in the back seat. Greg? Word spread. He was hauling scrap for a dodgy outfit, his career toast. Paul and Steve bounced between temp jobs, their names mud. They'd tried to rob our livelihoods, We didn't just stop them, we took their empire. At 45, I learned one thing. When they steal from you, don't bend, unite, and fight with proof. Teamwork, evidence, guts, that's how you win. Ever had a boss cheat you? Drop your story in the comments. If this hit home, smash that subscribe button. I'm Michael, and I'll see you in the next one.